At 12:07 a.m., your paycheck hits your account. For about 8 seconds, you feel rich. The number is bigger than it was an hour ago. Your shoulders loosen slightly. You pay the rent immediately before anything else can happen. Then the credit card. Then the electric bill you were pretending not to think about. Gas, groceries, minimum payments. By 12:26 a.m., most of the money is already gone. You stare at the balance. You worked an entire month for a number that survived 19 minutes. That's when the thought starts becoming impossible to ignore. Not panic, not desperation, just a quiet question sitting underneath your life. How long can this continue? Living paycheck to paycheck changes your psychology first and your finances second. That's why escaping it feels so strange. Because the trap is not only in your bank account, it's in your nervous system. Your brain adapts to survival. You start believing that financial stress is your natural state, that being one unexpected expense away from collapse is simply adulthood. You normalize overdraft fees, normalize anxiety, normalize checking your balance before buying coffee like it's a weather forecast determining whether the day is safe. And eventually you stop trying to get ahead because getting ahead feels mathematically impossible. That's the real danger. The moment survival becomes identity, the future starts shrinking. So the first thing that changes is not your income, it's your attention. You begin noticing where your money actually goes, not theoretically, physically. The subscriptions you forgot about. The delivery fees that looked harmless individually but accumulated like termites inside your account. The tiny emotional purchases after difficult days. Scarcity makes comfort spending seductive. You tell yourself you deserve the takeout because work was exhausting. You deserve the impulse purchase because life has been heavy lately. And maybe you do. But paycheck to paycheck living feeds on emotional spending because emotional spending creates temporary relief without changing the structure causing the stress. The machine loves temporary relief, so you make one uncomfortable decision, then another. You stop trying to look financially stable and start trying to become financially stable. Those are completely different goals. You cook more often, not because it's glamorous, but because your future self quietly needs the margin. You cancel things, sell things, ignore trends. You stop upgrading your life every time your income increases by 7%. Lifestyle inflation is the quietest financial predator on earth. Nobody feels themselves getting poorer while spending more. It feels like progress right until the month something goes wrong, and something always goes wrong. The car repair comes, the medical bill, the layoff, the random Tuesday where your debit card declines in public and your body fills with heat so quickly it feels like humiliation has a physical temperature. That moment changes you. Not dramatically, quietly. You become less interested in appearing successful and more interested in becoming difficult to destabilize. That shift matters, because escaping paycheck to paycheck living is rarely one giant breakthrough. It's usually the accumulation of invisible, boring decisions repeated long enough to create breathing room. The first $500 you don't immediately need changes your brain more than people realize. Then $1,000, then 1 month of expenses sitting untouched in another account. The number itself matters less than what it represents. Time. For the first time in years, a problem appears and your brain doesn't immediately enter survival mode. Your nervous system pauses before panicking. That pause is the beginning of financial freedom. Wealth at first is simply reaction time. You start thinking further ahead, 6 months, a year. You realize how impossible long-term thinking felt when every dollar had an emergency attached to it. People call this discipline, but discipline becomes much easier once fear stops occupying every corner of your attention. Money is not just money. Money is cognitive space. And slowly your identity changes with your habits. You stop opening your banking app 3 times a day. You stop fearing unknown phone numbers. You stop feeling physical dread every time someone says the word expenses. Your paycheck no longer arrives already emotionally spent. The strange part is how ordinary it looks from the outside. Nobody applauds when you build stability. There's no cinematic soundtrack when your emergency fund reaches 3 months of expenses. No viral moment when you choose investing over another upgrade to your lifestyle. But your life begins getting quieter internally, and quiet financially is a luxury most people don't understand until they experience it. At 12:07 a.m., your paycheck hits your account again. Only this time, not every dollar has somewhere urgent to be. For the first time in years, the number stays there the next morning, and your brain, still trained for survival, checks twice just to make sure.